Here in New England, we love our chowda. Drop the ER. So much that in 2023, former Boston City Council President Ed Flynn made it an official holiday.
That's right. So today, January 15th, is officially Chowda Day here in Boston. And joining us now for a delicious recipe that you can make at home is former chef and current COO of Legal Seafoods, Matt King. Matt, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Happy Chowda Day.
Thank you. Same to you. Let's all celebrate.
All right. So this is an official holiday. You were in the room when the declaration was made.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was really cool, right? So like it was always like our own holiday.
Yeah.
But we really petitioned the city council to say, can we make this a legal holiday? Because what's more Boston than chowder? It's like as Boston as Paul Revere.
It's Boston Chowder.
I love that.
That's amazing.
That's a great historical point because your chowder has actually been an Inauguration Day menu special since Reagan was in office in 1981. And we actually have the letter of appreciation that we'll put up in just a second. But why do you think has become a staple, specifically in the White House?
Well, I think it's, it really represents the state of Massachusetts, right? So why wouldn't you want something representative of every state?
Absolutely. All right. Well, it smells so good in here. We gotta get going.
We can take that off.
All right. So how people want to make this at home? What's the secret? What do they need to have and do?
Right. So I think, anything that you're making, right, you got to build a base. You got to build a foundation to start from. So we start by rendering salt pork. With garlic.
Oh, yes.
And we do that overnight, right? And we basically liquefy the salt pork, right? Yeah. So that's the base. And then we make a fish stock, right? So we get a whole lot of fish bones. We simmer those for hours. We strain that. And then we get a little butter because everything's better with butter.
Right?
Everything's better with butter.
Yeah, the recipe's actually on your screen. It makes it easier. Take a picture, snap it.
Some onions, some pastry flour, and then we basically thicken that fish stock, right? We add a little bit of clam broth to that, right? Get it really nice and deep and flavorful. Then you finish that with the clams, the potatoes, and some cream.
So really, it's the foundation. We got to start with the foundation, build it up, and then we get the good
like
stuff.
Anything, right?
Okay.
You got to build the foundation.
Yeah.
All right, and the clams.
Oh yes.
How do you know when you're shopping? Are there tips to get the good clams?
I mean, we only use local clams, so everything's coming from New England, right? And really, there's not a whole lot to it, right? You want something that doesn't have broken shells. You want fairly even sizing, in them.
Yep.
The larger they are, the harder they are to open.
Okay,
so
smaller.
Smaller is a little easier to open. They get a little stronger as they get bigger.
Oh. And you mentioned overall the process can take a while, right? For the flavor to really settle in.
Yeah, it does because it takes about 12 hours to render the salt pork properly, right?
Yeah.
So then we cool that down, and it takes us about 6 hours to make the fish stock, and then we cool that down. So then once you have all the base of everything, you can put it together in about an hour.
Yeah, okay.
You can make it, you can cool it, you can keep it. The only thing I would say is when you're reheat it really slowly because it'll burn very easily once you put the cream in.
Got it. All right, and so this is not a microwavable thing after. You got to put it on the stove.
You could, but if you put it on the stove, just be careful.
It gets that filmy? Is that why
Yeah, it'll get a little filmy.
Yeah, I'm doing everything wrong.
And then, use something that's got a heavy bottom on the pot so it doesn't burn, right? Because the cream, the dairy wants to burn.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, this is delicious.
Yeah, we were being rude and made
we can give you
No, you made me one.
Well.
Thank you.
Of course. I mean, you brought the good stuff. We got to give you some of it, right?
Thank you.
You guys, you can grab your $1 cup or $2 bowl only today, the 15th, at Legal Seafoods. You can also try to make this recipe at home, which I certainly will be trying.
Yeah, we got to try it. We should cook it.
I got to start at the base, the foundation, Kwani.
Let's
start at the foundation.
But if you try the recipe at home as well, tag us on social at The Hub Today. Of course, tag Legal Seafoods as well, so we can see how you do and judge it.
Matt, thank you so much. This is delicious.
This is how we cheers as well.
Happy Chowder Day to all who celebrate.
Day.
We'll see you back here tomorrow, guys. Have a good one.